You're doing great. You're so welcome.
So, no, just what happened. Yeah, just rather brief.
We're at the
Festival.
Yeah.
That's what celebrating is still about us.
yeah.
There you go.
I hope not.
Did you really?
Congrats.
Oh.
Right here.
Oh my God.
So character, what makeup character? They guy.
That's a big guy.
Turtle. Well, he's not turtle.
Was he a dragonborn? Dragon something.
Dragon,
We just
yeah.
kept on calling him a turtle.
You guys don't really know. He's just a big turtle-looking guy.
He's a turtle.
He's a very stoic turtle man.
He keeps people with some more chaotic characters than mine.
Thank God for that.
Joey thinks.
We don't have to.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Oh, he's not too bad.
You guys got to meet all each other's characters. So I'm really looking for a synopsis. Synopsis. That's a hard word from you. That's what happened.
Did you do your homework, Riley?
I mean, I did as much as I could with it echoing
I'm so sorry.
every 2 seconds.
That recording was terrible. And the very end of it, so we missed everything.
Damn.
It's okay.
Oh, that's right. It stopped. Mm.
We did it so.
It stopped, but then it started recording, but then it stopped early. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway, we're all doing our various things around the festival.
There's a chase that happened.
Yes.
Somebody was attacked.
there was some combat.
Yes.
I wonder who could have done that.
Does he?
I almost killed Ryan's character. It was the highlight of my night.
I'm gonna be real honest. When we entered that combat, I had totally forgotten that you had half health. I had completely forgotten. I was like, I mean, yeah, but.
I was down to like 10% my health. I was like,
So
okay.
funny.
That's okay. Anyway, then was the arm wrestling contest. Oh, sorry, we all met up because of the chase sort of thing. And arm wrestling happened.
Joey beat the big half-orc champion.
Mm-hmm. Then we all went to eat food at the little tent.
Shrimp.
Yeah.
Shrimp.
It was another chasing, not part of it. It was guards chasing cultists or something. It was cultists chasing guards.
The guards were after the cultists, but they were quite slow because the city guard here has it really, really good. They don't usually see a lot of chasing, so they were a little bit behind.
Then we entered into combat with the cultists.
Yep.
Who were not particularly strong, but there were a ton of them.
There were a lot. There ended up being about 10 of them. And they were all dressed in like thick black robes.
Yeah.
I think, does Nemo have one of those robes? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
With them.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about the one that Joey's character gave to me after winning.
Oh, the amulet?
Yeah,
Yeah, you do have that.
I also helped a lot during the fighting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot.
We killed like 9 out of 10. And then the very last one, a lightning ray of light attack killed the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were summoned. Not really summoned. She appeared.
She appeared. She said, come to tea.
We went to tea.
Mhm.
And she, her name escapes me.
Sybil.
Sybil, thank you. Is not, in fact, who we thought she was. She was,
a
in fact, a hag.
Yeah. She was a hag disguised as an elven woman. And she had a secret. What was the secret? I don't remember.
The town doesn't know that she's a hag.
Yeah, the
That
town
she
doesn't
like
know.
does shit.
Yep.
Oh,
She's a soothsayer.
She is a
yeah,
soothsayer.
there it is.
The town definitely doesn't know that she's a hag. But there was a reason that she revealed, yeah.
She's, her sister is one of the lords of our current area.
Yeah.
She's Lord of the Island.
Yep. Yep. Her sister is one of the 7 lords that took over after the death of the emperor.
Forcibly gave us permission to like go and kill them.
She did, yep. She said, I believe she said, bring me her head.
She did.
And that's where we left off.
The bad thing about what's the bad thing about the hag? Hag sounds bad, but like why do we care about a hag?
Well, it's not necessarily the hag in particular. I mean, hags are known for being not great. Sybil seems to be a little bit different from that. But it's not so much that she is a hag, it's that these 7 lords seem to be not great. So and Sybil is clearly against them.
That probably means that the sister is another hag.
Most likely. Most likely. Okay. So we will start off then. You all are in Sybil's tent drinking tea. She has just dropped this bomb on y'all. She's standing about 9 feet.
Oh
She's
yeah, I
quite
forgot
large.
about that.
She's quite large, yeah. But her tent's a good size too. So like she
Didn't
kind
it
of
like grow with her or something?
The tip was like smaller than outside.
the tent's bigger on the outside or on the inside than it is.
It
the
looks
outside.
small.
It looks smaller. And she's like her head and her shoulders are kind of like brushing the corner. But she like it's big enough for her. And her teapot and her teacups are still kind of like moving around doing their thing. She sort of has been looking around, kind of gauging y'all's reaction. And since nobody's openly hostile to her so far, she's like, okay. So she's giving you your task. And she sort of takes a minute and like sort of waves her hand, and in front of your eyes, her image starts shimmering, kind of like it did when she revealed herself. And sort of in the blink of an eye, she's back to that really beautiful elven woman that you first met. And like she said before, she had said, like, I hope you understand that this is a secret that I have to keep here. She has business to do. So she sort of gives you all a knowing look. And she says, I suppose we ought to go check on the townspeople and make sure there wasn't too much damage done when these people arrived and started causing a commotion. So she sort of ushers you all out of her tent. Is there anything anybody wants to do before you leave the tent? It's okay if not.
Can I like look around, not to steal things?
Sure.
Just because
Just to
I'm
see?
curious.
Yeah, roll an investigation check.
Okay. 22.
22, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. For like what it looked like on the outside, you're kind of surprised by like the amount of things it holds. Most of it's very ornate. There's lots of like beads and like decorations around the corners and stuff. You would probably know from like all of your traveling and stuff that you would know how to pick out a magic item. Almost every item in this tent is magical.
Great.
There's tons of magic stuff. It's pretty clear that she's a collector of magic things. As you would know from like legends and stuff, hags would be anyway. So this is not surprising to you. There's the tea set that's sort of like calming down now after she's sort of leading you all out of the tent. It's sort of like settling into its little place. there's lots of teacups. There's lots of like jars with different herbs and teas and stuff. Yeah, there's just a lot of like really decorative, but also probably functional things. It's all really interesting. You're probably like, wow, this is good stuff. Yeah, anybody else? Okay. She leads you out of the tent, and you are back outside in the Dawnflowers Bazaar area. It looks a lot less crowded than it did before. Kind of looks like people were kind of spooked out of that area. There's still a few stragglers, like sort of looking around, but overall it's pretty quiet. There doesn't appear to be anybody, any like civilians that were like interrupted or injured during the battle. It's just cleared out a lot, and a lot of the tents have their little like doors drawn, like they're closed up. It's kind of a weird, like awkward, eerie kind of silence right now. Yes. So that's where you all are at. Like I said, not a whole lot of people, and Sybil's kind of like ushering you on. She is leading you all like out of the bazaar, and away from like, so the docks are here, right? And the bazaar is right here. And she's sort of leading, pushing you in the direction from where the cultists came from. And she's like, I think we should go talk to the guards and see what happened and how they got in. So she's leading you in the direction of the guard tower. She's kind of just like walking along. You'll probably take like 10 minutes to get there. If you want to talk to her or do anything, you're welcome to do so. Or we can just keep going.
Hello, I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
So, your sister, you don't like her, I'm assuming.
She's not my favorite person.
So why are you trying? Why do you need us to attack her? Why can't you just do it yourself? You seem pretty powerful, if I do say so myself.
Well, thank you. It's a bit awkward with family, as you might imagine, and I'm not one to just go and behead my sister on my own. However, even if I wanted to, she is much more powerful than I could ever take on by myself, which is why I have enlisted the help of your merry bunch here. She has been bestowed powers that I never would have dabbled in, and so she is quite formidable, and it would be a suicide mission for me to go on my own.
Powers as in powers, what strengths and weaknesses? We need to do any of pros and cons list here.
I haven't spoken to her in quite some time, and the nature of her abilities are sort of beyond my reach. All I know is that she is following a path that I would prefer not to, and it has given her abilities that I do not have. Anybody else have questions? This one seems to ask a lot of those.
Please, I can go on.
You don't get used to it.
No. Onward we go then. She sort of like shuffles along, like, okay.
Chris RF.
Yeah. 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 So she leads you all to the guard tower, and it is sort of on the outskirts of the other side of the city. And it's this big, tall cobblestone tower that is clearly well fortified. And there's people walking around. They seem to not really know what's been going on. The festival goers who are just finding their way around the city. Your little encounter seems to not have reached here yet. And they're pretty undisturbed. So these people are sort of just going about their business and blah, blah, And you reach the guard tower, and there are two guards standing at the door, and Sybil sort of greets them, and they greet her back. It's pretty clear that she's well known in this town. And, like the people walking around seem to know who she is, and the guards absolutely know who she is, and they're like, "Oh, like, yeah, come on in," that sort of thing. And she makes it clear that you all have business with the guard captain. And so they let you in, and they're sort of like following behind you, sort of thing. And there are lots of like off-duty guards here. They're kind of just hanging out. Not really a whole lot to look at. It's just a stone tower. And you go up a spiral staircase up to what would probably be the top of the tower. And there is a room with all sorts of like weaponry and like medallions and stuff, but they're all decoration. They're all kind of adorning the room. And at like a sort of desk thing in the back of the room, there is a dwarven man. He has a big black beard, and he is dressed in heavy armor. And I don't know that any of you would recognize him. But he looks pretty important. And Sybil sort of just nonchalantly walks up to him, and they greet each other. And he says, "Well, who have we got here?" And you all just kind of are looking at him. She says, "These are a group that I picked up outside the bazaar. I wonder if you might have heard that there was a bit of an excursion. We had some people come in brandishing weapons, and your guards seem to have a bit of difficulty catching up to them." And he kind of laughs. He's like, "Yeah." He's not very surprised by that. Yeah, like you all would know, like this city is very well fortified. The city guard is well trained, but they don't see a lot of action, just sort of as it is. And he stands up from his desk and he says, "Well, it's nice to meet you all. Care to tell me a bit about what happened?" You look a bit eager.
Hi, I'm Lavender.
It's nice to meet you.
Analyze it.
This one always like this.
Absolutely.
What's that mean?
I'm preparing my interviews for you.
Well, this is a bit of an odd group, isn't it? He kind of is. He's like amused by this. He's like, bunch of weird people here. He's just kind of looking around, and he goes, "Well, my name's Galdrick Thunderbrand. Galdrick Thunderbrand is the guard captain here.
Do you have any cults in this game, in this town?
Have I got any what?
Cults? People in hoods?
No. Not that I'm aware of, but I'm not sure that they would be very out and about, if you will."
Ah, they're out and about indeed. It's just a new fashion trend.
Assumption. Your questions are so correct.
Okay. He's very confused. Okay. Well, let's go downstairs. And he sort of like, "Okay, go." He like ushers you all out. And he takes you back downstairs, and he's like, "Let's go for a walk," and sort of leads you back outside. How about you all take me to where this all happened? Sybil sort of leads the way. Just sort of walking, and he's sort of asking like, "Well, what did they look like?" That sort of thing, like asking just vague questions. So you get back to around the wall where the bazaar was, or is. It's still there. It's just there's not a lot of people around. And there's some guards who are like kind of like gathering up these people that have been brutalized. Sort of like they're like, "Okay, like keep going." And the captain looks very like concerned. And he's looking at the cultists, and he's looking at you all. It's like,
These cultists isn't a fashion trend. This is the clothes are new.
well,
I've seen these before.
well, I mean, there are people in walk around in thick cloaks all the time, but I'm not sure. What did you say became of them? How did they get here? He looks a bit. Roll insight. The four of you roll insight check.
23.
3.
They're 20.
Okay.
Something.
Sorry, it's taking forever to roll. Insight, you said?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, 12.
12.
It like literally was like like slow motion. I'm like, hello?
So dramatic.
Like, roll please?
30, 20, 23. You two would probably notice that he, when you, when he first greeted you, he was very like jovial and like, unsurprising for a dwarf in this area. Like he was like, kind of jolly. He's starting to seem a little bit guarded, and like a little bit suspicious of what happened here. And Sybil is noticing this as well. She's like,
That being guarded is being guarded.
yes. He goes off and talks to one of his guards for a second, and then comes back. So, where did you all come from? How did you end up in this? I mean, what brought you to the festival this year? Just here
For science.
For science. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
For research. I mean, I'm sure everyone else is here for research.
No.
For
I'm here for the festival.
okay. Research, you say? There's not a whole lot of research to be done in a here at the Dawnflower's Eve.
Everything has research, young fellow. Like these cultists, that's pretty interesting. Do you think they're flammable?
The people.
Usually everything's flammable.
You want to know if the people can be caught aflame?
I'll test out data.
Oh. Okay. He's seeming like really off put by that. Sybil's like, well, I mean, I'm sure these fine people have traveled just like everybody else. I mean, they're here for the festival, but they protected the townspeople, you see. So I think they should be thanked and welcomed. And Galdrick is like he seems a little off put by that. And he looks at Nemo. It's like, what are you doing here, little girl?
I'll kind of I'll like go grab
Casabel?
yes,
Yeah.
I'll like kind of grab his sleeve and like kind of behind like the festival.
You two come together. Or Casabel hasn't she's not been engaged in this at all. She and Vulcan both are just kind of like, why are we here? Like, I don't. And she just kind of like stands in front of you and she's like, no. Like, I found her. She didn't have any money. Like, so here we are.
I'll just like quickly like nod like.
Science man, tell me more about what is it that you're researching here?
Any new discovery, which I'm also curious, why are you asking questions? It's question for question here.
Well, this is my city.
Correct. So why are you curious about that background? What's your
Well,
background?
this is my city,
Huh?
and outsiders who come in and start killing people, I'm not real sure that I'm quite fond of.
Is killing cultists not part of the culture?
Well, I mean, who's to say that they had any sort of bad intentions here? I mean,
Is killing not a bad intention?
well, nobody said that they were coming in planning on killing people, and Sybil's like, oh no. She's sort of like, she's starting to look a little suspicious herself. Not of you all, of him. Do you often come in talking about setting people aflame? Is that something you normally do?
I'm curious about Lavender, if he's flammable, but that's besides the point.
Statement. I'm not flammable.
How do you know?
Analyzing. Statement. I'm unsure.
Future research.
So all of your research has to do with lighting people on fire.
It is a favorite topic of mine, oh man.
Sybil, and he kind of looks at her. Yeah.
Oh, as this is going on, I'm gonna pull out the little symbol I got off of the person,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna kind of like pull again on Vulcan's sleeve. I'm gonna hand it to her and like whisper like, "I found this."
Are you talking about the symbol that's on
Yeah,
the cloak?
yeah.
Okay. Are you wearing the cloak or are you just handing it to him?
Is it like on, or I thought it was like a separate thing?
Well, okay, so the cultists would have been they were wearing necklaces. And there's probably that symbol like printed onto the cloak. Like it's a black velvet cloak and it's probably like embossed into the velvet.
Okay, so then I'm kind of changing it up slightly. Then I probably would have like as they're all talking, like, you know, like fixing my cloak more, like trying to like get it on me better, obviously, because I cut this, and I'm gonna like kind of look down at it and like ask Vulcan like this, and like kind of like stretch it out.
Okay. I think Vulcan would be like, oh, and he'd kind of like get their attention and kind of point that out. And the guard, while you're sort of getting Vulcan's attention, has asked Sybil to kind of step back. And she is obliging. You, throughout this whole thing, probably would have gotten the sense that like she and him have a pretty solid relationship. However, he is still captain of the guard. So when he says to do something, she's going to do it. And Vulcan sort of brings you forward and he's like, Nemo found these robes on the attackers and it's got this weird symbol on it. And he had asked, Jacob was the one that asked what the symbol was. I mean, so you all don't know. And the captain, Galdrick, just kind of looks at it for a minute. He's like, I didn't think I've seen that before. Does this mean something? You're the one wearing it. Does it mean something to you? Yeah.
Can you see if he's lying on? Is that a thing?
The captain.
Yeah.
Sure, roll insight.
The 12.
He seems pretty truthful. He seems like he's definitely not seen that symbol before. And he sort of looks around. Does this mean something to any of y'all? It means nothing to her, but she's the one wearing the cloak. I can see.
Hi,
I'm not here.
I'm here.
Observing.
You're just in time for my really bad Scottish accent.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's pretty
Yeah, that's
good.
pretty
Thank you
good.
so much.
The Scottish don't know what they're doing.
Oh, okay, thanks. All right. So he's asked you all if the symbol means anything to you. Nemo said no. I keep gesturing to Riley as if you're a part of
I
this,
know,
but
I'm
we
like,
haven't met you yet. I did this with Jamie too. I was like, Jamie, why aren't you rolling when I tell you to? Nothing.
I don't have any research on it, but I'm trying to.
Okay. You know, I think there might be some investigating that needs to be done. So I think for now,
Sorry, I
You're
was just saying, this entire time Carl's just standing towards the back smoking his catnip pipe.
hell yeah, I love that. Roll a stealth check for me.
Me?
Yeah.
Great.
Roll it with advantage because
Hell yeah.
Geldrick is very distracted mostly by TBA. Uh-oh.
My
It's
distraction.
a 14,
Okay.
but I rolled. The second roll, my advantage roll was a natural 1, so I was like,
No! That's so funny. 14. Yeah, 14. You have managed. There's right as TBA is going on about like lavender being flammable sort of thing. Galdrick's very much like, this is weird. And there is a group of people that have ventured into this area, just passing through it. And you manage to like slip behind them and follow them as they leave. I mean, you end up sort of just around in the corner. So you are out of sight. You two and Nemo notice that there are 5 guards that were like messing with the cultists. They have now abandoned that task and they are approaching you all. And Galdrick sort of just looks around. He's like, all right, there's no need to be hostile here. I just think that we should spend some resources on finding out what happened here. So I think I'll keep you all in holding for now. And the guards come up, and they're very much not aggressive. They just are doing what they're told. And they don't have weapons drawn or anything, but they do have like the equivalent of handcuffs. I don't know what that would be. They would not put them on you because you're a child, but they kind of take you by the shoulders and just like lead you on.
Query, why are you taking this thing?
Not very academic.
It's just for now. I think they're not quite sure. Like I said, most times festival goers don't just come in and start killing people, and I think that I should just for the safety of the townspeople. There's a lot of people here, and it's hard to keep eyes on strangers that are potentially dangerous.
Save the town people by killing the
Is
cultists?
the townsperson murdered?
Well, I don't know. I think
Did you check?
that's what I'm gonna
Do you
do.
need help?
And Sybil is very much like, calm down, like over in the corner. She's like, it's okay, just do what he says. He's like, I just think that I don't know who these people were, and I think I need to spend some time finding out why they were here, and it's for the safety of the people and maybe the safety of yourselves at the moment. So I promise no ill intent, and I would hope that you cooperate and let me do this this work to try to figure out what happened here. And if it turns out that your intentions were indeed noble, then I'll set you free. The guards sort of, again, sort of just gently take Nemo by the shoulders, and they put the two of you in cuffs and start leading you back towards the tower. Carl, you will have seen this happen, but you are in the shadows, and you sort of are watching your party members get arrested. So you, on the edge of the wall, sort of skirt around and make your way around that wall. And you find yourself back at the docks. And people are still rolling in. It's like a 3-day festival. So people are going to be coming and going all the time. There's tons of people. So you're well hidden. They have not noticed you at all. And you sort of just take up a little area and start, you're like smoking your catnip pipe. And that is where we will introduce Riley's character, sort of coming onto the docks. So if you would like to describe yourself and maybe what you're doing.
Okay. So my name is Dreyfus Zunip. I have magenta hair and I have a beard that's both unkept but is smoothed down as if like gel has been put in it like consistently, so it's very smooth. I am 4'10", so I am the shortest in the group, which is fun, I think. I don't know what your height is.
Like kind of a lot. Kesabel was the shortest before and she had like a foot on you.
Yeah. My skin color is like a light teal, blue, like aqua green type color. Gray eyes. Yeah. A Triton Ranger.
Cool. Is there anything particular you're doing, or you just sort of?
I have a vision with it, so we'll see. We'll see what it turns into.
Okay.
I am kind of off to the side away from one of the tents that's closed off. After it was just closed, and I'm kind of sitting down, somewhat looking at people to see what the surroundings look like, and have like a more puzzled look on my face.
Sure.
I think probably, I don't know where distance wise that would be, but maybe we're in like eye view distance.
Mhm.
And you see me with like a puzzled look.
Yeah, you totally would be able to see each other. Carl is probably like camped out on a barrel, like right off of the docks. There are lots of people around, all sorts of people. You probably stand out among them. This sort of, as the rest of the party has seen, you all are an odd bunch. There's lots of different people. But it's mostly like your typical, like there's a lot of elves, half elves, humans, gnomes, halflings, all dwarves, but like not a lot of tieflings. Carl's probably the only tabaxi. You are probably the only Triton, that sort of thing. So you two would notice each other as being different than the rest. No, you are most certainly the only warlord individual in the city. Yeah, no, you are alone in this. There is the occasional dragonborn, like there are some different people, but the majority is like your typical sorts of people.
I'm gonna
So
like keep scanning, and then I'm gonna find Carl and like look a little bit longer, and then like keep looking. Just kind of continue scanning.
Carl, you would not have ever seen somebody like this. Roll an intelligence check. Four? No idea. You've never seen anybody like this. You might gather that he kind of looks like he might like the water, and that's about it. Yeah. anybody doing anything in particular, looking for anything in particular? Of you two? You two are going to jail, or you three are going to jail, you two.
It's good fun.
I think I'm just gonna keep sitting
Okay,
and like contemplating for a while.
I'm going to finish my catnip pipe,
absolutely.
and then I'm going to slowly attempt to make my way towards Dreyfus. I almost said youth one, I'm sorry.
I transcend it.
Carl, roll a D100, just for funsies, while you're smoking your pipe.
That is a 90.
Okay,
Okay.
it was lower. Then have you roll to
High as
like
hell.
choke on your pipe, like. Oh, that would be funny.
Wait, did you roll one dice? One die.
Oh, you're right. How do I roll?
Oh,
D10
D100
and
is
D100.
the percentile and a D10.
Shit.
So the one with two numbers is the first number.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
you just add the numbers?
Yeah, so like if I rolled, like if I rolled a percentile and it was 80, and then I rolled a D10 and it was 4, my total would be 84.
Well, my total is now 17.
Choke on the pipe. Choke on the pipe.
It's a little strong this time. You get your catnip from
My dealer.
a dealer, yeah. And there are very few, so you kind of had to stock up. And you, when you bought this batch, had noticed that it looked a little different than your last batch. And you were not expecting it to be as strong as it is.
Great.
So, been a little bit of a, kind of like not drawing attention to yourself, but like a little bit of a cough going on. And you would notice that this cat person has just choked on their pipe.
Just throws
I
up
would
a
notice that.
That's funny.
I,
What?
I would notice that.
Mhm.
Okay. And as you're coughing up along, I'm gonna like stare. Then I'm gonna keep scanning,
Okay.
keep looking away.
Yeah. Yeah. People are just coming off of their ships. A lot of people look like they came from really far. Like they look very relieved to be back on the ground. There's some kids. The kids are always like surprised just to see people that look a little different than them. So they kind of like look at you, and then their parents like usher them along, and they kind of look at you, and they're like, oh. And then their parents kind of were like, okay, come on. It's rude to stare, that sort of thing. Carl, there are lots of wealthy people here. You're seeing lots of wealthy people coming off these ships.
I would like to steal from them.
Okay.
I would like to make my way towards Dreyfus, but on the way, I would like to try and swipe some cash.
Okay. Roll stealth.
Okay.
How long has it been since you had taken that hit from the pipe, do you think?
Immediately after.
Okay, roll with disadvantage.
Great.
Walks up behind someone.
Oh,
What am I doing? What am I rolling? Still? 12.
that's okay. So that's.
My stealth is plus 10. I rolled a 2.
Oh my god.
10?
Your robes.
Well, the noble that you were stealing from rolled a 4 on perception, so well done. Okay, roll a sleight of hand check.
Is this also at disadvantage?
Nope.
Okay. 12.
Okay. You, the person that you have chosen for this endeavor, has lots of like pouches and stuff hanging from their belt. They're probably a merchant, coming to like sell their stuff. You take one of, or you reach for one of the pouches on their right side. And it's a little bit like more on there than you thought it was. So you're kind of like, come on. You kind of have to like fidget with the leather like ties for a minute, and the person like, just as you get it off, the person sort of looks down and is like, what's going on? But they do not notice you. And you have acquired 50 gold pieces.
Hell yeah.
I'm also gonna watch this happening like the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Watch your stare.
Watching. While also staring.
Yeah. This cat person is kind of just out in the open. Like, and people don't really seem to notice. Like, it's pretty crowded. A ship probably just disembarked like all of their people. So there's a lot of like people coming off. And so they're not really paying a lot of attention. They're just happy to be back on the ground. But you, having been watching this cat person and him really standing out to you, like just sort of watch as they pickpocket this individual. Are you approaching?
Yeah.
Okay.
As Carl approaches, I'm gonna like scoot away a little bit, but not like leave. Hello.
Bonjour.
I'll look away and just continue scanning and not really acknowledge.
Okay. You said you walk, or you look
Just
away.
acknowledge.
Oh,
Just like
got it,
keep
got it.
scanning and like
Okay.
looking.
Okay. Cool. Are you looking for anything in particular, or just looking?
I'm wanting Carl to initiate something, so I'm waiting.
Oh.
Got it. Carl, roll insight.
God.
Oh my god.
Better. 16.
16. Yeah, this strange person is pretty obviously waiting for you to make the first move, as it were.
Sorry, I'm trying to get the accent in my head. It's gonna be
Yeah.
god awful. I'm just not gonna do it. Are you looking for something?
No. Are you?
So cryptic.
No.
Okay.
I'm Carl.
I'm Dreyfus.
Did you just arrive?
No, I was here earlier shopping. I was looking for gear and ammunition to buy,
Oh.
but did not have enough gold to purchase anything. So,
Perhaps I could help you with that.
how so?
How do I put this delicately? I steal from people.
Why do you do that?
It's a great question. To feel alive, Dreyfus.
Okay. What would be your help?
Well, how much gold do you need?
100?
Oh.
Would that be okay?
Sure. I'm a generous thief.
A regular Robin Hood.
Good to know, Carl. I'm like, wait and like start to put my hands out in anticipation that you're just gonna give me something right away. So I'll just like wait.
Before I give it to you, I have one question.
What is that?
Why are you buying ammunition?
To be stocked up,
For what?
survival.
Do you think you're in danger?
Not in a normal sense, no. Why do you ask?
Because me and my Well, they're not my friends. Me and these people I met 20 minutes ago just fought off a bunch of cultists,
Mm.
and now they're in jail. So, I don't.
So are you saying that I should help in return for this gold?
I'm not saying that. It would not be
Offering
terrible.
that.
It would not.
Okay. I will help.
Okay.
Where are your friends?
Back this way.
Okay. How long will this take
To get there, not long. They're just around the corner.
to break them out?
That I don't know. Probably not too long. I don't think these guards are that competent.
Okay. What should I be prepared for?
Nothing too serious, I don't think. I was able to thwart off some cultists with just one sword, so.
Okay.
Okay. And now I'll give you the gold.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And thus Riley has joined the party. Cool. Are you guys heading back towards the guard tower?
Yeah.
Okay. It's sort of on the opposite side of the bazaar, the circle bazaar. Which is fine. You can head that way, certainly. So you like go towards the bazaar area. Both of you roll perception.
12.
Well,
Also 12.
okay. You sort of looking around as you're walking. And the city guard uniform is really, it stands out. It's like a bright red tunic situation with a gold breastplate. There are several guards sort of just patrolling. They look very much like they're looking for something. They're just looking. They're kind of like looking each person over, like, okay, not them, moving on to the next. There is a guard in the center, or like inside the bazaar circle, and he is looks like he has a piece of paper that he's tapping a little like nail into the stone of the wall. He's got like a small-ish stack of them. It looks like he's gonna put them elsewhere. And he's not really paying attention. He's just doing his thing, moving to the next one, doing his thing. So you can investigate if you wish, or you can move on.
I would like to investigate.
Okay. You approach this sheet of paper that he's left. And he's sort of moved on, like this one sheet of paper is like good for this area. It is a wanted poster. It does not have a picture on it, but it has like pretty hastily written words. And they say like wanted Catman. And a reward of 2,000 gold. The guard has noticed that you did not, in fact, go to their little dungeon with the rest of the party. So they are looking for you.
Is this you?
We.
Why would you be wanted?
I may or may not have snuck off when they were being detained.
The poster also, as you approach it, the poster also says potentially dangerous.
No.
Should I not be wary of you?
No, you should not be.
Why?
I'm not going to harm you. I killed the cultist.
So they believe that you're dangerous because of that.
I think they believe that I am dangerous because I have claws, and I resent that.
That's fair.
Okay. Is this where we are?
We are pretty close, yeah, to
Okay.
where we need to be.
Yeah, you all are in the, so I forgot that you weren't here last time. So in the city, there's a big circular, marketplace. And during the festival that's going on right now, this 3-day festival for, it's a religious thing. If you want to read about it, there's in the folder on D&D Beyond, there's a paper. During this time of year, that marketplace is filled up with all sorts of like merchants and traders from different parts of the world. This is called the Dawn Flowers Bazaar. Perfect. And it's a big like circular area in the middle of the city. The guard tower is like on the other side of that from the docks. Sort of on the other side of town. So from the bazaar, and Carl, you would know this because Sybil's tent is in the bazaar. It would take like 10, 15 minutes to get there. Give or take foot traffic, because there might be lots of people.
How much longer until we get to this jail?
Maybe 10 minutes, 10, 15.
We go.
We go.
As we walk off, I'm gonna look behind Carl to the poster and then see the 2,000 gold piece on it.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Are you just sort of sauntering on, or are you trying to be stealthy, or?
I'm definitely trying to be still.
Okay, we'll stealth check.
Yep.
Treffus, are you trying to be stealthy too, or no?
Carl is being stealthy. I will try.
Okay, so we'll stealth check.
It's an 18 for me.
Oh, 18.
Mine will not be good because I have disadvantage. It's still around.
Are you wearing plate armor?
Yeah, I have chainmail on.
Got it.
Oh. 14.
Nice. Oh my God, these people rolled terribly.
Good.
We had a 2, a 10, and a natural 1.
Great.
Yeah, there are, once you get outside the bazaar is starting to fill up a little bit more. You having been here already a little bit, it was like, before you met Carl at the dock, it was like full of people, like shoulder to shoulder, like really hard to push through. It's thinned out quite a bit. And you would assume that's because of the stuff that happened. You could draw that conclusion. It's starting to fill in a little bit more. There are still tents that are closed and that sort of thing, but people are starting to fill back in. And so you're sort of able to like dip down into the crowd a little bit like you were able to last session before the battle. And nobody seems to notice you. You all definitely notice a very heavy guard presence here. There are lots of guards, and they are just sort of, there's the one that's still putting up posters. There's a couple like here and there that are just out by themselves, and then there are a couple like big groups of them that look kind of like scout parties. Carl, roll a history check. Jarvis, you can too. Roll history.
Sick.
Not good.
That's also not good. I got a 9.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't really mean anything to you. They're just big groups of guards. And it's pretty clear that they're looking for you. They're definitely, before this endeavor, there was not a heavy guard presence. There was just the occasional, like, just to make sure everything was going okay. And now there's a pretty significant one. So we're moving towards the guard tower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll make it to the guard tower. Little incident.
Bye, Kevin's dead. What did you just say?
Thank you so much.
What did she say?
Happy Honda Days and Merry Toyota Fun.
Oh.
Absolute menace.
Chrysler has risen.
Huh?
I said Chrysler has risen.
Yes. So you're approaching the guard tower now. The guard tower is pretty out in the open. Do with that what you will. What's the plan? You're just walking right up, or
What are we doing?
A great question. Can we well, I would like to sneak around to see if there's like a back entrance.
okay. Stealth check, I guess.
29.
Oh my god. Who are you going with? Or not?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Roll stealth check.
unless you tell me otherwise.
No, you can come with me. I don't know that you want the bounty
Oh,
on my head.
Well, that was a natural one.
Oh no. That's not good. Carl disappears. There's a group of people that pass by and he's just gone. You like blink. And so you're like, okay. And you have a vague idea of like which direction he was going. So you kind of like hunker down and like sneak, but the people are gone. They've like already passed by. So you're just like Skyrim crouched down, walking in the open. And people are looking at you. They're like, what is this person doing? But just kind of moving on. But you have caught the attention of one of the guards that was scouting, and he sort of comes over to you. Human man, the full like uniform. He like has a shield on his arm, whatever, and he comes up and he's like, what are you doing?
Can you not tell?
No.
I'm practicing to be stealthy.
Okay.
You should know. Why do you not know?
Well, you're out in the open. There's nothing to be stealthy around. I don't quite understand. Have you ever done this before?
The goal of stealth is to do it for your best survival. Your training should have prepared you for that. Why did it not?
Roll an intimidation check.
15.
Hell yeah.
This guard is, you can tell he's pretty young. He probably like just came out of like guard training. I'm rolling terribly tonight, y'all. And he's very much like, why didn't my training prepare me for that? Oh shit. And so he's kind of like, right. Can I like help you or like you know what? I think I'm just gonna go. Don't do anything bad or against the law, please.
I won't. I hope that your training improves.
Thanks. He kind of just like goes back to where he was. Like he like catches up with his guard group. Like he's like totally like, oh, and he like falls in line. Like, oh, I should not have done that. Yeah, you get the sense that he probably was like trying to impress his guard group and it did not go well. So he's just gonna pretend it didn't happen. Yeah. So you catch up with Carl. The guard tower is like the entrance that you came in. You sort of scoot around it, and it's pretty round. And there's not a lot of like there's not a lot of entrance points. There's windows, they're pretty high up. You'd have to, it would take some major improvising to get to the windows. You get around to the back side, there is a back door. However, it is heavily guarded.
Great.
There are several guards. It's like a double door. There's 2 guards at the door, and there's one that seems like he's doing a perimeter check. So he's like walking around. This you probably would guess is the entrance to the holding cells, where the entrance you went into goes up to the tower, and there's like spaces for the guards and stuff. This you would venture to guess goes down. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I want to try and go through a window.
You want to do what?
I want to jump through a window.
Okay. Yeah.
Am I able to scale the build? What's the building made out of?
Stone. It's cobblestone.
Okay.
On your character sheet, does it say anything about climbing speed?
Yeah. Hold on. I think it does.
Okay.
Hold please.
I just imagine me trying to follow and I miss and like the side of the building.
That would be so funny.
I have 2nd story work, which means climbing no longer costs extra movement, and when you make a running jump, the distance you cover increases by +4 feet.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. You're gonna have to time this really well because of that perimeter guard. There are windows that look like they are not in the view of the standing guard. However.
Oh, sorry. I have another. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's okay. What's up?
I have a climbing speed of 20 feet. In your, yeah, that's what it says.
Okay, cool.
That was an additional thing.
Okay,
Sorry.
awesome. Yeah, there are definitely points where that's like out of the standing guard's view. However, this isn't a huge building, so you are gonna have to time it really well. Are you taking? Do I say your name Dreyfus?
Yeah, I just said Dreyfus.
Dreyfus. Are you taking him with you, or are you just gonna go?
I'm gonna tell him that I'm gonna jump to the window.
Okay, sure.
If he would like to attempt to jump to the window with me, he can.
I will not.
Okay.
What is your order?
Whoa.
Do you want me to wait?
What is my order?
Yes. What do you want me to do?
Oh.
Another word for order.
This is the most chaotic party.
You can do whatever you desire. I maybe don't get trapped with the guards. My plan is to come through the tower to
And to open
somehow
that door.
let you in. Yes.
I will wait here. I was unsuccessful with stealthily passing the guard. However, I was able to escape.
How did you escape?
Persuasion.
Okay.
I will wait until your return.
Okay.
Okay. You're just gonna.
Yeah.
Okay, roll intelligence check. To time the.
Yeah.
Just straight intelligence.
21.
Well done. Yes. Yeah. So you, there's a line of bushes sort of around the corner, and you just wait in the bushes. And you know this guard is going to pass by. You let him do like a full perimeter, right? And right as he is rounding the edge back towards the back where the standing guards were, you're like, okay, that's the perfect moment, right? Because he's almost on the other side. So you take a running jump. Make an athletics check with advantage.
Okay.
Because your thing said it doesn't take any additional movement, right? It didn't say anything about. Read me the thing again.
Climbing no longer costs you extra movement, and when you make a running jump, the distance you cover increases by 4 feet.
Okay, so that's just space wise. Okay, yeah. Roll on it. Athletics with advantage.
11.
That's okay. It's not a with. You're a cat. It's not a very high DC. There is a window that's probably like 20 feet up.
Mhm.
You take a running jump, leap up there, like get your claws in like the little holes in the cobblestone where the cobblestones come together. You get up to the window. Roll perception.
23.
Nice. The window is open ajar. It's like a
Nice.
window that
Yeah,
opens like
the
that.
swing open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also somebody in the room.
Well,
She appears to be human. She's got long blonde hair. She is dressed in the guard's uniform, like the red tunic and the chest plate, but she has a cape that has a symbol that kind of resembles an eye on it. And she's standing in the door talking to somebody else. Her back is to the window. So if you would like to push the window open and step inside, you may.
yeah.
Roll a stealth check.
12.
12. Okay. Okay. Push the door open, the window open, and it's really quiet. Sweet. You kind of like climb over the edge, do like a nice little roll. She has a desk in the room, and you like dive behind her desk. But the wind from the window being open and a really sudden movement knocks some papers off of her desk. And she turns around, she tells whoever she's talking to move on. And she sort of looks around the room and she starts to come around the corner of the desk. Do you want to do anything?
Poor woman.
You don't have to.
So she's coming over to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
She goes and like starts picking up the papers and is like,
So she sees me.
not yet.
Okay. I'm gonna. Hold, please.
Questions.
Yeah.
What does the surrounding of the tower look like?
Yeah, it's pretty out in the open. It is, there's some, like the hedges that he was hiding in, they kind of, like, the tower's round and they kind of like mirror the way the tower rounds out and then go out. It's a cobblestone tower. There's not a lot around it. It would appear to you that people, like, when this was built, they wanted it to be known as the guard tower. So people like knew where it was pretty much. It's pretty plain, just pretty out in the open.
How far away am I from the tower?
30 feet-ish. Yeah. You probably, Carl was hiding in that hedge line and probably left you there. So you're probably like 20, 30 feet from the tower. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything yet.
Okay.
Just gonna wait until she directly sees
Okay.
me.
She's just picking up her papers. She has a pretty high passive. There's a paper that's fallen really close to where your tail is. And she goes to pick it up. She notices. That's odd. And turns and makes direct eye contact with you. Are you doing anything or not? You're just gonna look at her?
Oh. Okay, I don't want to seem dangerous
Sure.
because that's an unwanted thing.
Uh-huh.
So I am not going to try and attack her at this moment.
Sure. Just gonna
Oh.
look at her.
I'm just gonna like awkwardly wave. Claws retract, retract.
She looks you right in the eyes. And she goes, "You're exactly who I've been looking for. What are you doing in my tower?"
Looking for my friend.
How'd you even get in here?
There's a cat. I jumped.
That's fair. Your friend's the ones locked up in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they did to get in there?
Mm-hmm.
They do.
There were a few cultists coming into town.
Yeah.
And when we were trying to explain the situation to the lead guard, he got a little antsy and said he needed to make sure that we attacked them with good intentions.
Hi.
And I just went off to smoke my catnip, and when I came back, they were all being detained. I did not mean to flee. And now there's a bounty out for me. On my hip. Hi.
Stay there.
Okay.
She kind of steps back and she goes back to her door where she was talking to the other person. She locks the door. And she goes over to the window and she's like, "Oh, that's how you got in here." She locks the window. She pulls the blinds on any like windows that might be in there. Hi. Your character's in jail right now. Everybody's in jail. It's okay. She's like, "Okay, you can come out." And she pulls a chair up to her desk for you to sit in, and she sits down behind her desk and she goes, this is very odd circumstances, but I am gonna need your help. The captain, he's acting super weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure like what's going on, but something is not right. And I think that you can help me with that. My name's Kala. I'm one of the Seekers. And you would, having been around, you would probably know that somebody carrying a Seeker rank is pretty high up.
Okay.
She is probably like a lieutenant, like right under the captain.
Okay.
They are known for, well, roll intelligence check. Yes.
Do I see the curtains close in the window?
Yes.
Then, because I see them close, I'm gonna prepare to like enter combat,
Okay.
basically.
Sure.
Nat 20.
Oh, nice. Yeah. In preparing to come to this city, you probably had done a little bit of research. The Seekers are, they are right under the captain. They are known as scouts. The name Seeker is pretty like telling. They do a lot of scouting. They do a lot of like bounty collection, that sort of thing. And they report directly to the captain where all the other guards fall under them. So you know that she's pretty powerful. So it's kind of weird that she's asking for your help. She's like, just for the past couple days, the captain has been acting very strange, but the rest of the guard reports to him, and if he tells them differently than I tell them, then they're going to follow his orders, and we're usually on the same page. But something's off about him recently. And with these arrests that he's made today, that's just further solidified. So it's odd to find you in my office, but I'm glad that I have. And she sort of looks around. She says, "Are you the only one that got away?"
I'm the only one that got away. However, I met someone else on my way here who has agreed to assist in any type of combat that might need to happen in exchange for my help with supplying him with armor.
Okay.
He is outside
Oh,
because he could not jump through the window.
got it. So not another cat guy.
No, I'm the only cat guy.
Okay.
Carl, by the way.
Carl. Kella.
Does the name Carl sound threatening to anyone? I don't think so.
No, I'd imagine not. I don't think that you don't need to persuade me that you are the threat. I know that something deeper is going on here. However, I'm the only one that seems to know. So I need us to move on with the utmost secrecy at the moment. I
Absolutely.
have a plan,
Okay.
but the two of you might be able to help me. Where is your friend?
Outside near the back door.
Okay, stay here. Don't leave. I will come back. She unlocks the door, goes out the door, but you hear the lock. She locks you in. And she is going to go downstairs and go try to find Dreyfus. Are you going to hide from her or no? You see this person come out, and she's looking around. She's clearly looking for something. She is clearly a guard, but she's wearing that nice like cape with the symbol on it. And she's heading in your direction like she knows where she's going to look for whatever she's looking for.
Did she leave out of the door with all the guards in front of it? Or
Yes,
like
she
around?
did. All the doors have guards around them, but she left out of the.
The one that we're thinking is where the jail is, where the cells are.
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry. She came out of the other one. So if you're the hedge line's here and the two doors are here, this is probably the dungeon door. This is like the front entrance. She came out of the front entrance.
Okay. So then as I see her, I'm just gonna be weary and
Okay.
like probably start to aim, but not shoot.
Okay. She is heading right in your direction. If you would like to, you don't have to, but if you would like to, roll a stealth check. If you want to hide from her.
I think I won't.
Okay.
Because she's coming just directly towards me.
Okay. Yeah, and she is. She's sort of looks around like maybe like she doesn't know exactly what she's looking for is, but she's heading right in your direction, and she definitely sees you like standing or sitting there, and she sort of looks around, and she says, "Catman, does that ring a bell?"
Catman?
Catman.
Yes. Who
Come
are
with
you?
me.
Who are you?
My name's Seeker Kala. It's a long story. Just come with me.
Do you know where Carl is?
I do.
Okay. Can I trust you?
You can.
Okay.
You can roll insight if you want. Do you trust her or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you choose to follow her, she leads you right back to that door that she came out of. There are two guards, both of them are dwarves, standing. It looks like there's been a shift, change. There's two dwarves there, and they sort of give her a funny look, and she's like, "He's with me. It's okay." And she leads you inside, and they're like, "Yes, Seeker." And she leads you inside and right up the stairs, unlocks the door, a door, opens the door, and Carl is just sitting at the desk. And she closes the door behind you, locks it back. Okay, this is your friend?
Yes.
Catman, Catman's friend. What's your name?
Dreyfus.
Travis. Carl. Calla. Okay. So, here's my plan. I'm gonna talk to the captain. You two are gonna come with me. I'm gonna convince the captain to let your friends go. He's not gonna be happy about that. However, I'm gonna tell him that if he releases your friends under my watch, we'll have the day to prove the innocence of your group. I need both of you to be non-hostile. The captain's really sensitive to any type of weirdness right now. So let me do most of the talking. If he asks you any questions, just don't appear threatening. And hopefully we can talk some sense into him. Okay?
Do you think this plan will work?
I sure hope so. I'm not really sure what else to do. So right now, you two are the only hope I have of figuring out what's going on.
What do you mean?
Something is weird with the captain. He's acting strange, way more rash than usual, and arresting your friends. I don't know if you're friends with them, the group that just got arrested. It's very odd. I mean, it's clear to the rest of us that the people who attacked the city were attacking the city, but he's not being sensible about it. And it's my job to figure out what's going on. So hopefully the plan works. If the plan doesn't work, I suppose we'll stage a jailbreak. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. She kind of like is trying to make humor out of something that isn't really funny. She's just like, she's clearly very shaken by the whole thing. Not really sure. Like, she's just really hoping that she can talk some sense into her superior. She's like, all right, well, now's a better time than any. If you two are ready, let's go have a conversation.
See how this goes.
Okay. She goes back, she unlocks the door. She steps outside. You go back up the stairwell into the room that you have already been in, Carl. The office of the captain. There are two guards standing in front of the door. And it seems weird to you that guards are guarding, right? The guards door, like that's weird. And they give a strange look, and one of them's like, hey, aren't you? And Calla cuts him off. He's like, or she's like, I've got it under control. He's like, okay. So he opens the door, and the captain's just sitting there. He sits up, and he clearly recognizes you. He does not recognize you. Says, what have you come with, Seeker? She sort of steps forward and she says, Captain, I have brought our wanted individual around along with a friend in hopes that we may be able to aid in the investigation. I am hoping to make a deal with our cat friend in hoping that he will help us figure out what happened and prove the innocence of one party or another, which is the goal that we are all aiming for. And the captain sort of furrows his brow. He's like, all right. And he sort of gestures for y'all to sit down. You can choose not to sit if you would like to. Calla sits down in front of him. Are you going to stay standing or are you going to sit?
I'm following your lead.
I don't want to sit.
You don't read.
No.
Okay. He sort of gives you a look. All right. So, Sika, what can you give to this investigation that I don't already have? She's sort of, well, Captain. Um, it falls under my title to seek. And she sort of laughs again. You get the sense that she is not a very charismatic individual. She's a little bit awkward.
Carl picks up on this because Carl also is a charismatic
Yes.
individual.
Yeah, you catch on that she is trying way too hard to be like kind of funny, but it's not really working. And she's just kind of like a joke that didn't land. She's like, and she's like, I think that we can use this group of people to our advantage to figure out what happened. I think that you should allow me to take them under my wing, as it were, and figure out what happened. And he looks very apprehensive. And she sort of looks at both of you and she says, this one in particular, he was there. He has information that we don't have. I think we should be more hospitable to these people. Do you have anything to add? If it's okay, if not. Okay. Womp womp. Okay. The captain nods. He looks at you. And he looks at Dreyfus. What are you doing here? What ties you with my group of interlopers, as it were?
Assisting the cat.
Assisting in what way?
Fulfilling a deed.
You. How do I know that you're not going to disappear like last time?
I think disappear is a strong word. I rounded the corner to partake in my catnip. I did not know you were detaining all the people I came here with.
How am I to trust you?
What would you like me to do to prove that you can?
I trust the Seeker. And I would hope that you would follow her instruction. But if you are not to, I might hold a sort of collateral. You got anything of value?
No.
He sort of like squints. 50 gold pieces. I keep them and give them back once you have proven the innocence of your friends.
Very well.
All right. And he takes a key from his belt and hands it to Seeker Kala. And she says, "Thank you, Captain." And sort of backs out, ushers you to come with her, and she closes the door and she's like, yes. And she goes down, she leads you down outside, back around into that back door. The other guards standing at the door are like, okay, but she's high ranking, so whatever. And she goes and she unlocks the doors of each of your cells. And she says, hi, my name is Kala. I'm one of the seekers here. You are free, kind of. I have to come with you, but we're gonna figure out what's going on here. She kind of like ushers you all out. She is very surprised to see a child. She's like, that's really bizarre. So this is just further deepening her conspiracy theory. Yeah. So she sort of gathers you all outside of the guard tower. And she says, okay, what information do y'all have about what happened with the cultist? That's why you got arrested. What happened? Where? How? Anything you've got is helpful.
I was eating an entire salmon for myself, and then all of a sudden we hear a commotion. I hopped on the turtle man to get a better vantage point, and we saw guards very slowly chasing after people completely donned in black cloaks with hoods. And they kept getting closer and closer to the townspeople. And we went to go see what the commotion was about. And then there were many cultists that engaged in combat with us.
So they came to the city
Mm.
clearly like brandishing weapons. Roll an intelligence check, see if you remember.
$16.
Yeah, 16, you would remember. They were approaching very quickly, and some of them did have like daggers, if not in their hands, at their
That's right.
belts. Like there were definitely obvious weapons on
Okay.
them. Okay. I think maybe we should investigate those people. Do you want to take me to where it happened and see if there's anything lying around? I didn't catch all of your names. She sort of just looks around. Okay.
TBA, the greatest researcher in the entire world. Surely you've heard of me.
Can't say that I have.
I understand. Don't worry, you will.
Okay.
Introduction. I'm Lavender.
Yeah. All right. She's like, okay. So do you all lead her back towards that area? Yeah. Okay. The bazaar is sort of back at its former glory, right? There's lots of people. The bodies of these individuals.
That's what's still going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The festival, there's probably a day and a half left of the festival. The bodies of the cultists have since been removed. And there's probably people like trying to like scrub the blood out of the cobblestone ground. Poor guy. Kella kind of looks around. She's like, oh, they've already took him. Everybody roll an investigation check for me. Anybody who's interested in looking around for stuff. Yeah.
Rolled an 18.
0.
Jesus Christ.
Did you roll a 1? It's funny.
15.
18. What? What is with it? 11. Okay, my 2 18s. There's like a little grassy area sort of outside of the bazaar on the other side of the path. And there's the blood scrubby guy hasn't gotten there yet, so you sort of are like, okay, that's a good place to start. Yeah, I couldn't think of a name. I don't know what he would be. He's scrubbing. He hasn't gotten there yet, and so you
No.
It's charging.
think that that's probably a good
Yeah, I'm
place to
charging.
start, right? So you sort of walk over there, and there is in the grass, which is not caught by the others because it's pretty dark. It's hard to see. There is a torn piece of one of the cloaks. And on the inside of it, you like pick it up and look at it. On the inside of it, there is a little pocket. And I have something to give you all.
Hell yeah. Oh.
Everybody else, they kind of, Nemo and Carl kind of step off to the side, and you just notice that they're doing something else. While you are sort of looking around, my natural ones.
Some cool rocks.
There's some cool rocks. There's some neat patterning in the cobblestone, and you're like,
We're gonna write this down.
write it down. Yeah, that's good stuff. Casabel, you don't really care. You're just kind of like whatever.
I don't know.
What is it?
15.
15, 11. Yeah, you probably would notice that there are less bloodstains than you would have
Who would know?
thought. And the guy that's doing the scrubbing isn't doing that great of a job. Like, it's not like he got them all up.
Think.
Oh.
There's just not, it doesn't look as
So
impressive of a
Dot
battle scene as you would
after
expect.
V, then
11.
is not their name.
You
We-
probably notice
just-
like the footprints of people who have like run through mud, that sort of thing. You weren't at the battle, so you don't really know what to look for, kind of. What's up?
We're role playing over here.
Oh, okay. I love it.
Oh, you.
Do y'all want to do anything? You don't have to.
I want to like somehow get Kala away from people to ask her a question.
Okay, yeah. It's pretty easy. Casabel is pretty apathetic to all of this. And TBA is like looking at the stonework. You don't really know what's going on with that. Lavender and Dreyfus are off doing their own thing. So Kala is kind of just like looking around, like trying to see like what people are finding, that sort of thing. And you get her attention, and she sort of like steps over to where you all are. She's like, "What's up? What'd you find?"
Do you know where the ruins are?
The ruins. Does she? She totally does. I mean, it's pretty vague, but in the whole region, there's really only one thing that could be considered ruins. It's up north of Moffat. Why do you ask?
We found a note.
From a V person.
Okay.
I'm gonna show her the note.
Okay. She sort of looks on it. Oh, so I guess. We should probably try to figure out who that person is before we go guns blazing into their territory.
Does the letter V mean anything to you?
Necessarily. Both of you roll intelligence.
God damn it.
Oh, Nemo, roll high.
Oh god. Oh my god, this was at 20. 9.
What's a natural one?
Holy shit.
It doesn't really mean anything to me. Maybe, where did you find this? And she still has the note, I would assume. Yeah, she still has it. She's like, where'd you find this? Just on the ground?
In the shrub? Isn't that where I found it? Found it in a bush?
Okay. Do you think any of your friends would know?
See?
Lavender?
Okay. She goes over to Lavender. She says, here, and she hands you a note. You can pass the note to Ethan if you'd like. Does the letter V mean anything to you? Once you read the note, roll a intelligence check.
Thank you.
If you're right, I'm gonna scream.
Huh?
If you're right, I'm gonna scream.
I mean, I think I know what the B stands for, but
Vulcan's probably with you. Would you let him read it?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
I got a nat 20.
You did?
Huh?
Okay. Vulcan doesn't even need to roll. You're like analyzing.
Analyzing.
And you analyze this note. You remember very specifically that the soothsayer, Sybil, said that her sister's name was Vivienne.
Got it.
There it is. Okay.
What was the original question that asked me? Who's what does V stand
Does
for?
the letter V mean anything?
Oh.
questions.
I'll say,
Man, I searched them and makes you
according to my analysis,
So good.
I don't know. The letter V does sound familiar, as I recall. The name Lady Vivian comes to mind.
And Calla looks really like, I don't know about that. How much information do you have? Who told you about?
Analyzing. I have concluded that I understand approximately 95% of this note.
Okay.
What's the 5% deficit?
The margin of error that I have not yet calculated.
Oh,
Well, what's your understanding?
I believe Lady Vivian is referring to the hag that we had met just a while ago.
Hag. She's really confused.
I'm gonna tug on Lavender's. Be like, it's not nice to call old ladies hags.
She was pretty ugly, but that's just my views on her.
I don't think I know who you're referring to. I
Is she
don't.
not still with us? Where'd she go?
Sybil left a while ago. Yeah, Sybil.
Since she just kind of.
When you all, yeah, when they got arrested, remember the captain asked her to step back. So you disappeared. They all got detained,
Yes,
and
yes.
she is gone.
Okay.
You, roll an intelligence check.
Fuck. Okay. God, okay. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's a 9.
9, yeah. You could probably assume she might have gone back to her tent.
Okay.
You don't necessarily remember where her tent was. There's a lot of tents. But with a 9, you probably are just sort of like, yeah, she probably just left. It could be where she could be anywhere, really.
I would like to tell Kala the mission that Sybil wants us to fulfill for her,
Okay, yeah,
for context of how it relates to the note.
yeah, great. You tell her, she is like, oh, family drama, right? So I guess we should go talk to the soothsayer. You all should probably come with me. And she like leads you, like, you get the feeling that she has not done this before. Like, she's not new to the job, but she's never had like a group of random people like following her around because they are like because they have to. It's new territory. So she's again not the most charismatic individual. So she leads you all into the bazaar, and you sort of, she's like, I haven't been to her tent in a long time, so if anybody notices it, point it out to me. Everybody roll a perception check. Perception or investigation.
Bye.
Bye.
I roll investigation.
You can roll investigation if you want. Yeah, dirty 20,
I got a 15.
15,
30, 20.
It's a 13.
dirty 20,
Oh, that's
13,
not funny. I should have looked at that one.
6. You have no idea. 8. You've not been to her tent, so you don't know either.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, dirty 20, 13. Yeah. You all rolled high enough to know, like, you two leading the way, like, Nemo has a surprising remembrance of this for somebody who's 11 and doesn't really, I mean, you're just like kind of beeline it. You get back to the tent. It is closed, but it doesn't look like tied up. Like you could go in if you want to. So you may enter if you please.
I'll go in.
Okay.
I'm going.
Okay. Yeah. You too? You going in? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you go in. It was the same. It's the same as before. Sybil is not there. That desk is still in front of the like entrance to the other part of the tent. So free to do as you please.
If she's not there,
Yeah.
I wanna steal some shit.
Oh my.
Okay. Roll sleight of hand with disadvantage because you were with a seeker.
Oh no.
Great. Oh god. That's a 12.
Yeah. She rolled a 17 perception.
Damn.
You go to like, you're kind of like looking around, and you notice something like kind of shimmering on the side, and so you sort of like inch that way. Kella just kind of lets it happen for a second. Like maybe you're just looking at it or something, but then you like try to like reach up and take it, and she's like, excuse me. What are you doing?
I'm a cat. I like shiny things. I
Oh.
wanted to knock it off the table.
The item is a silver vase. You can't really see, it's a little bit too high for you, but it probably has some liquid in it.
Okay.
And she's like, no.
Okay.
You can try if you want.
No.
Okay.
Try to take it while she's looking.
You can try to like knock it.
Oh, yeah, I do want to do that.
You do want to do it?
I do want to knock it over.
Okay.
I can't. I got it. Giant hand. Just
Yeah.
bitch slamming off the table.
You like reach up for it, and you're looking her dead in the eyes, and you like reach up, and you're just staring at her, and she starts to like move forward to like be like stop, and you just long before she could even come close to getting there, it spills everywhere. And it's like this weird, like shimmery, like it's a green liquid, but has like a gold shimmer to it. And it's just all over the floor.
Yeah, see if it's flammable.
I don't know.
What?
I kinda wanna burn a fire, it does look kinda cool. I mean, for science.
Do you want to get arrested again? Because
This is how you get arrested.
this is very, very shaky ground that we're on, and I do not want to go back to the captain.
So
Say
I
that
can knock things down, but I can set things
I
on
was
fire.
trying to stop him.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Favoritism, that's all I'm saying.
This is turning out way more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Did the vase break or just
Nah,
fall?
It's metal.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to be nice and with my giant opposable thumb hands, pick it back up and put it back.
Okay,
Touch the green stuff.
Maybe, I don't know.
roll. Roll a dexterity.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Roll a dexterity check.
My dexterity's good. It's a dexterity, is it a check, not a save?
A check.
Okay.
Let's see if it gets on you.
That is a 10.
You pick it up. It is covered in that green liquid. Roll a. Hold on. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Hell yeah.
7.
Wow.
Cool.
I love this.
You take 6 points of poison damage.
Great.
And you're like, oh, like it's kind of like stingy, and you like set it back on the shelf really quickly. You did that.
Great.
How did that make you feel?
I will rub this poison on you.
About this time, you all hear movement from the other part of the tent, and Sybil sort of sticks her head out. Oh, how'd you all get out of jail? And Kala just kind of is like, hi, they're with me.
I was technically never in jail.
Oh,
Hello.
Didn't really help us get out of jail, did ya?
it's not my responsibility to argue with the town guard.
You did kind of lead us to him, though.
As I said before, I have a business to uphold. She's like looking at Kala. So, how can I help you?
Query.
Hmm.
Do you want us arrested?
Of course not. I've given you a task. Why do you ask? Strange one.
That was my only query.
You and the guards in a relationship, as some might say?
A relationship.
Oh, I understand. Usually when you don't answer direct questions, that means that's a yes. I believe that.
You're asking if the captain and I are romantically involved.
Oh, I already know the answer to that.
The answer is no.
I have 2 questions.
Of course.
1, are you aware that your sister might be also trying to come for you? Secondly,
It knows your guys.
It is an inevitable possibility.
okay, great answer. Second question, how do I get this poison that I accidentally dropped on the floor off my hands?
I don't even know what accidentally means.
Quiet questioner.
Hands to yourself, curious one.
I'm a
It will
cat, I can't
fade.
help it. It will fade?
It will.
Okay.
Any other questions?
What's your relationship with the guards?
The gods watch over the city, and I am a citizen of Solaria. I have a business to uphold, so I follow the gods' orders.
No relationship.
I have no relationship with the gods.
Oh, sure. We know you might have a crush.
TBA, roll an intelligence check.
7.
She's a hag.
Are you saying hags can't find love?
Yeah, it's rude. The lies, so I don't know if she actually wanted her to, if Callum wanted her to know about her hagness. I don't think Callum knows about her hagness.
Are you saying she's a catfish?
She also, Kala, you noticed that when Sybil stepped out, Kala was like kind of visibly confused. This woman is not old, and she was described as very old by TBA. So when she stepped out, Kala was like, "Oh." Anyway, so you seem to have information about my sister.
There's a 100% probability that you will be taken alive.
Interesting. Where was I to be taken to?
Lady Vivian.
Maybe it's a date.
With my sister.
Maybe she wants to back things up, as about knowing things for your family to do.
It's just my certain hypothesis.
Okay.
Oh,
How did you get this information?
So bad. Just keep writing and stuff.
The notes right in front of you.
That's the problem. I've read it like a novel. Stuff.
Okay, I'll just
So I'm like,
Okay.
this
Yeah.
is-
You share the note.
Yeah, I'll
get
name
to
it
dive
here.
in.
I'll just be like, we found snow.
Okay. Yeah, I have it. She takes it. She sort of looks it over. Oh. Again, an inevitable possibility. Not surprising. Convenient that she gave up her location. I think you all have your task. She sort of looks at you all. She sort of lingers on Kessabel and Nemo. You two have been quite quiet. What are the thumbs doing?
I'm waiting for the poison to stop.
It,
You know, Talladega Nights where Ricky Bobby's like, I'm gonna do my hands.
it's fading.
Okay, great.
It's gonna go away. It's a great movie.
It's so good.
Good.
Hi. Welcome.
Hello, our Lord and Savior.
Welcome.
Greetings.
You know what? Straight man is the comedy because there's too much
What?
chaos. That was.
Sorry, did you say great man?
Yeah, but
That's what I heard.
I mean, the world doesn't need to. Straight intro, okay.
Okay, stroke, my God. Fortress.
We can take a break. Yeah, we'll take like 5 or 10. Let people get acclimated. It's okay. Yeah, I'll let you get set up. Bathroom break. And I'm gonna stop this recording and start a new one so it doesn't cut us off.